Welcome to All Wheel Driven, a podcast by Audi Club North America where we explore all things Audi and the incredible people who bring it to life. All Wheel Driven is presented by XPEL, the official paint protection film of Audi Club North America. I'm your host, Zach Miller, and today Chris May and I chat with Frank Ocsai and Ulisses Varela of Rayteam Automotive in Waltham, Massachusetts. Since 2009, Rayteam has built a reputation as one of the Northeast's premier German auto specialists. But Rayteam isn't just about service. They've taken that passion to the mountains with Rayteam Motorsport. In 2024, they had their first run at Pikes Peak with a legendary Audi quattro S1 E2, tackling one of the world's most demanding hill climbs and a car that helped define Audi's motorsport legacy. Now, in 2025, Rayteam is returning to the mountain, this time with two Audi S1 E2s, joining the largest Audi presence in the history of Pikes Peak. We'll talk about their journey from shop floor to the mountain summit, the challenge of preparing a purpose-built rally icon for modern competition, and what it means to carry Audi's legacy into the clouds. Let's get started.
Thank you very much for having us, first of all. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Frank Ocsai and Ulisses, welcome to All Wheel Driven here with Chris May. So would love to talk to you guys about, of course, everything that's coming up with the Pikes Peak Hill Climb coming up here at the end of this month from the time we're recording. And we'll, talk through the S1 E2 and everything and the cars you're bringing and all that. But before we get into that, would just love to hear more about your whole story, Frank, about how you got into Rayteam Automotive, how you built this brand, how it branched into Rayteam Motorsport, and just your history as an Audi lover and a car person.
Well, that's a sickness. Okay, that's a sickness.
A healthy addiction, we'll call it.
And no cure on it. And no matter how many years go by, it's still no cure. So I grew up in Europe and, start fixing like cars at 14 years old, stealing my father's car, driving around, things like that, and became mechanic. So I have a lot of experience with German cars. I spent a lot of time in Germany, a lot of time in Italy, and I never had the money to buy one Audi S1 on my younger time. It's just financially impossible. And when time go by, in 1999, I came to the United States. Me and Ulysses, we worked so much, like we did boat detailing, car cleaning. We opened our shop in 2009. And after 7 years, I just worked 7 years with no day off, no Sunday, no holiday, nothing. We opened Rayteam Automotive in 2009, 7 years, just straight with work, day and night. 100 hours a week, sometimes sleeping in the shop. And after 7 years struggling, things try to get better. Things try to get better than before. And I hired one mechanic, two mechanics, three mechanics, but still dreaming about Audi S1. So the dream was there. Financial was not. So the company started growing, hire one people, two people, three people, four people. And right now, as of today, it's 14 people. And we created Rayteam Motorsport 3 years ago because we decided to get into it, auto motorsport. And when I hit 50, I said, you know what? If I buy it right now, I gotta buy it right now, or I never going to have it, even right now or not. So I had to talk to my wife about that decision. And she said, okay, you want to have a nice shop, you get the shop, and what else you want? I said, even if I'm doing it or not. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. Just do it. Just do it. I close my eyes and just do it. So my friend, Laszlo Kesken, he's building these cars overseas. And he's very successful with these cars. He's building these cars from the 80s. So the question came in, okay, I'm buying it. What we should do about it? Besides just looking at in the garage and looking at, like, I love to hear it, I love to drive it. So the question is, where? In the city, in the Waltham, Boston, it's impossible to drive around cars like that. So I talked to my team and became, what is the longest race and what we like, that became Pikes Peak. So our first race was Pikes Peak. And after we involved with the New England Hill Climbing Association, and we start hill climbing. And the car just became better and better and better. And here we are in 2025. We go to the Pikes Peak with two Audi S1, not just one, with two Audi S1. But most of the credit, that's not mine. That's for Ulysses and all the other guys, like the team, because without the quality work and without the sponsors, we couldn't afford it for sure. Maybe we can afford to looking at the car, but not to start it up and drive it and be in it and have a seat time on it and driving with race.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's clearly the focal point was how do you get yourself in Audi S1? Okay, we gotta start working on them. Okay, we working on them. Now how can I actually get one? And if we're gonna get one, where are we gonna race it? And basically put it in its most like spiritual home place, right? Of hill climb races in the United States. Is that that's pretty much how you came to Pikes Peak, right?
Sure, it's like when we're looking at like history, like Walter, Michel Mouton and Anser family, and we're looking at like Sebastian Loeb, Ari Vartanen. For me, that's super valuable history in the motorsport. Like today they have like faster cars, nicer cars, but nothing like the Group B style race cars. They nothing like that. Like the sound of it, the drivability, the just nothing you can compare. Like WRCs, they fast, they great, they super fast. But when you sit in the, let me put it this way, when I sit in my quattro, I smile all the way around. I smile inside underneath the helmet all the way around. I just love it. Even if I drive it or co-piloting it, I just love it.
What first lit that spark for you before you even came to America? You said you were working on cars. Was it primarily Audis and German vehicles, performance vehicles? Were you around rally? Like, what was your exposure to all that early
I
on?
was involved with many WRC and Rally 2, Rally A style racing. I was working in Italy and I was building race cars, of course, not for myself, for my work. And I was in San Marino, like Monaco, all over the places for support and working on cars. Used to be, we drove with the Peugeot 206, be involved with racing. And of course, that time too, like for me, was impossible to own one.
It's long, hard days as well too in the race season. It's I'm sure you probably needed a break afterwards too, right?
Always, always, basically, that give us my life direction, which way I wanna go. Some people they want the beautiful bicycle or motorcycle. I believe, beside work, we all need something for fun beside work.
That goes fast.
Yes, yes.
You mentioned the builder Laszlo in Europe that was responsible for building your S1.
Yes.
So can you walk me through, just for our viewers, kind of what that process looks like? Is this a true S1? Is this a fabrication? What is the provenance of this S1?
So Laszlo started building these cars for the 80s. So they took the original S1 body and they did the mold based on the original Audi S1. And they did all the specification, all the blueprint for the original S1. That's built like, I think they have a 4000, the Audi 9e, and they built this car together with their own mold for the body panels. So that's required like very precise cutting, because that's 32 centimeters shorter than the regular UR Quattro. That required to change the angle of the windshield. The angle was different, and that car also wider than the UR Quattro. So actually, when became the idea to go to Pikes Peak, I have to change the AD setup to the brand new basic WRC setup for the safety system. Like we have to cut out the roll cage, we have to put the fire suppression system, because on the 80s there wasn't required that kind of fire suppression system. And we have to redone, like to doing the roll cage and all those systems, that's like 100 hours of work. And before the car came like a week before, we have to go to Pikes Peak. So we didn't have any sit time. We didn't have any testing. We did not have a time. And unfortunately, Baltimore Bridge, it's collapsed the time when they shipped to Baltimore. So we lost 10 days because of that.
Oh, wow. That was right during like what, the 30 days prior to last year's event?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So we didn't know what we're getting, and we had problem with the fuel. because the car had the car running on ethanol. And we get ethanol in France. And we start driving the car. And until when we had the France ethanol to tune to the car was like beautiful. But after we lost 40% of the power and we just running around on Pikes Peak in Colorado, what happened? And the tuner from overseas tried to log in and we couldn't. Took us some time, couple runs, to figure out why the exhaust temperature is 1,300, which is the melting point almost for the exhaust system. So we have to reweld. And after we figure out, because the fuel is not the same and we have to change the tune. Over here we run on VP fuel, VP X85. So thanks to EFI Express, we retuned the car. And right now, before we get 1.7 boost, and we get 475, close to 500 horsepower. Right now, we have 1.3 bar of boost and 525 horsepower with the correct fuel, correct tunes. Also, right now, we're going to run 1.5, and we have a turbo sensor after the turbo, which is regulated to 140,000 RPM. Because we're blowing up around like 160,000 RPM. So it's a process. It's racing, you know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I believe every racing team always having some issues and some problems.
Especially when you're going 50 years back in time for rally monsters like the Group B era stuff.
Yes. And this is a special car. So compared to Subaru guys, they go to the junkyard, they pull the engine out, the drive shaft out, they have all the parts what they need. For us, we have to manufacture every single part, because not too many Audi UR Quattro or S1 in the United States. We're manufacturing like axles, we're manufacturing like exhaust, we manufacturing bolts, suspension. We have to manufacture everything in house.
So what do you take with you then to prepare, like for something like Pikes Peak? I mean, what kind of spares do you bring with you? You bring spare axles?
I tell you, we have two front axles. We don't have rear axles, but also we have rear inner joint. We have rear outer joint, but we doesn't have a shaft. We have one rear differential, but we don't have a drive shaft. We have spark plugs though, and we have ignition coils, timing belts from England, because they're specific on this car running with the 147 tooth timing belt. In the United States, they have 152, but doesn't have a 147. So we have to ship everything from overseas to put timing belt, and the car has to be serviced almost every 200 racing mile. We put new timing belt, new water pumps, things like that.
So you mentioned Rayteam Motorsport was like 3 or so years back. I think you said you started that. Before you got to the first event or hill climb event at Pikes Peak, were you entering in other events around your region with other cars? Like, what was the build-up process from when you first got the motorsport project started?
We had the Audi Group A Quattro the year before, but we didn't have chance to race the car. And more race before. First race the Audi Group A had that last winter in New Hampshire, ice race. Also, we have a Canadian ice race car. We bought the car like how many years ago? 15 years ago. So that's probably more interesting story than anything else, and always unbelievable. In Canada, they sold only 99 UR Quattros. In the United States, they sold 666. Probably 15, 20 exist in the United States, and probably maybe 6, 7, maybe 10 in Canada. And when we find a car in Quebec, that was the ice race car. So I took the plane. I asked the gentleman, it's like, can I drive it home? He said, yeah, sure, you can drive it home. And he asking me do you want winter tires or no winter tires? I saw the weather. I said, you know what? His winter tires has a studs in it. And I know in Massachusetts, it's illegal to have studded tires. You know what? Just put any tires on it, take it off. I don't want any problem with the costume or wherever I drive it. So he put used, really bad summer tires on it with no tread. So as soon as I hit the US border, I lost my brakes. One of the brake line is popped. And I said myself, some snow start coming in too. And I called around. They said, no, nobody come get me. No AAA, no tow truck because some snowstorm coming. So based on my experience, I'm going to be stay over there somewhere and who knows what's happening. Or I just drive the car home to Massachusetts with no brakes on it. So this is the standard transmission. So if you have a good control on it, you can slow down pretty good. So I drove the car from the US border to Waltham, Massachusetts with no brakes on it. So that was a 8 hours drive in the snowstorm. I caught all the snow. The good thing nobody was on the road and the quattro just fly through it. And that was one of my craziest experiences in my life.
Channeling some winter rally energy with that one and terror.
Yeah, I get very exhausted.
Too bad social media wasn't around back then.
No, it's like after when I put up the lift and I see all the brake lines are rusted and those tires was horrible. But you know what? No accident. I made it back with no brakes, always shifting back and forth, up and down, always in control. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna sleep over there for days. Nobody wanna get me. Just go.
Where'd that car end up after that?
I still have it. We still have it.
Awesome.
I love the car. I love the car. So we have that Canadian ice race car. We have a Group A style quattro, and we have a Audi S1. And I be working on it something super special for next year. So that's going to be the fourth car for the team.
Anything you can tease now, or you want to leave it a surprise?
Well, let's talk about it when it's here. I like talking in the past. I like to say not what we're going to do. I like to say what we did.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
Cool. So tell us more about you've already expanding to 2 cars, like you said, this year. So one is, of course, the build from last year. And then where's the second car coming in from? What's the story with that one?
The second car, it's owned by Alex Kim. He's in Salt Lake City. And that's built by in Group B garage in Poland. Me and him, we have a great relationship. And basically, I came up with the idea to grab him in and go to Pikes Peak together. Because 2 Audi S1 E2 next to each other, just like almost impossible, especially in the United States. And he said, okay, let's go. So we're working on it almost a year to make it happen. Actually, he just finished up testing. Things went well. So hopefully this year, if it's God help us, we can all complete Pikes Peak.
Yeah. Tell us more about the drivers and just the team. Like what does that look like for you? How did these people come into the motorsport side?
Last year, the drivers was Laszlo Kesken, who built the car, and he did great. He did fantastic job. This year, we're training with Emmanuel Chechet. He's a French driver based in the United States, and he's on Fog Racing, and he's a rally driver. He's a hardcore rally Subaru and Audi driver. He has based 40 years old rally driving Subarus. He's also driven with Team O'Neill many times, and he's just very, very demanding driver. Me and him, we training the car. We was in the Thompson Speedway, and last 2 weeks ago we was Ascotney hill climbing, and oh boy, sitting next to him, I getting hot flashes. He did great job. Lombard's nobody getting hurt, and the car in one piece. I'm happy. So this weekend we go to Okemo in Vermont for the last test. That's going to be Sunday, and Tuesday the guy is going to leave to Pikes Peak, Colorado.
Yeah. Then when do you guys get the cars out there?
So they're going to be there the 15, like 4 days. 15 and 16 going to be the tech inspection, and 17 is the qualifying races.
I made the drive last year from Massachusetts to Colorado. It was an adventure.
Precious cargo too, right?
Yes. Oh, Frank reminded me. I get a picture from him, a text of my location on the U.S. map. So he was keeping a close eye.
Yeah. How big is the team that you guys bring out there?
Boy, that's probably 20 people. We're responsible for 2 cars, and We're going to have people from Germany coming, people from Hungary. They are specialized or something. We're going to have a tuner on site. That's Mark from EFI Express. We're going to have my guys, my mechanics over there. And also we're going to have Alex mechanics and Air Power Motorsport. They're going to give us a support. We have Sherman, he's going to support us with electronics. So everybody, they have different job, like transportation, compressor, like we have guys with tire pressure, air heaters. So everybody get in, get out, get in, get out. Everybody does the job, get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, get out. The guy can go. We have guys for fueling, with the special process to fueling these cars. Probably 20. I would say around 20 people.
And I think in Pikes Peak, it's not a question of if, it's only a question of when. If I take just taking a look at the field, I think all race teams that were present, they had some type of issue. So having the manpower, having the expertise really helps because, the driver, we want to just get that car back out there as quickly as possible. So having the manpower to tackle any problem that comes your way is critical.
I imagine you want to get all those kinks out days ahead of time, right? If something's going to break, you want to.
And that's why we're testing the vehicle. Yeah.
Yes, and the testing, it's happening 2:00 a.m. So we gotta wake up every day, probably 1:00 or midnight, because the mountain, the public has to be taking over at 8:00. So everything happening before the sun comes up. And the weather, it's unpredictable. We in June, so we get snow, we get ice, we get rain, we get like huge wind. And if we're not qualifying for each day, they don't let us drive at race day. So it's very demanding, super demanding. We have to just one run, we have to just make it. Mechanical problem, we out. The bad weather condition, we out. So basically the hill against us, the weather against us, mechanical failure against us. So most of the things against us.
Yeah.
Hill climbing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a super demanding form of motorsport for ultimately such a small period in time, at the limit piece
That's
of racing,
correct.
right? Yeah. The weather piece is interesting, that of course makes a ton of sense being a hill climb, but how do you mitigate against that? Like, because, it's different than other forms of motorsport where you have a dry tire and you have a wet tire, right? But like, what do you guys have to, or even what capacity do you have to bring with you to prepare for the extreme weather events that could take place when you show up?
Well, the most important thing to bring with us with warm jacket and gloves. And make sure we have enough fuel on the car just to have some heat for the driver at least, not for us. And we're changing tires every 5 minutes or every run. Right now it's sunny, put the dry tire. Oh, it's windy, or wet, put the wet tires in it. So many tires change going on, and really don't have time to basically get the tire warmers on it. And when you go with cold tires, that's kind of dangerous. And the tire pressure, it's like always all over the place. It's on the bottom of the hill, can be nice and sunny. And on the top of the hill, that can be rain and windy and fog and super cold. So like we are rookies compared to other teams. Our teams doesn't have that kind of experience than like the Porsche teams or the Hyundai teams or the Ford teams. Like Ford teams, they have a $10 million budget. Our budget, it's like the portion of it, not even close.
Mhm.
So,
But we're trying though. We're trying.
so because the limited funds, everything what they do, we don't. So basically, they budget for the team for food and hotel. Let's say like $100,000. Our budget it's like 1,500.
Yeah.
So like the resting, it's very important especially for the driver. Resting, like they have a moving hotel basically. Last time we slept in the trailer, things like that. But it's okay. That's no problem. It's like we can all handle that, and that's just basically more fun for us.
Yeah. Makes it more of a challenge to overcome, right?
Sure, because it's nothing gonna be stop us. It's like weather, whatever, nothing going to stop us. We're not going to give up on anything. Last year we have like coolant hose blow up, the high temperature on the tune, we get 1300 Fahrenheit, the The exhaust manifold always melted down, the turbo always melted down. So when other teams, they get relaxed, get back, we was working on the car for 8 to 10 hours to make it next day. And thank God we made it. And thanks God we made it.
Did you buy the welder?
Yes.
You bought one? All right, good.
Yes.
We needed a welder last year.
Yeah, we needed the welder. Right now we bought the welder.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting question or point there. What are the biggest learnings? I mean, I know it's always unpredictable. Things are different year to year, no matter what you do. But what are the biggest learnings coming out of your run last year that you're taking into this year?
Good question.
That's a very good question because we learned many things. Like we learned the regular coolant hoses, they're not holding pressure. And unfortunately, we get many hoses, just basic hoses. So all the hoses we change right now. Like everything, it's motorsport quality, high performance hosing. Hopefully, we're not going to have those problems. The tune, like last year, we didn't have a tuner on site, and because no cellular, no signal, hard to connect the tuner at the hill on the same time to speak to the car. So with the barometric pressure and the sea level on top of the hill, it's two different things. So what we did the logs back, logging in. And we always one day behind the logging because first day we did the lower part, second day we did the middle part, and third day we did the upper parts. So the first day we sent it back the log, but second day that log was incorrect, but a little bit better because we went to the second part and we didn't have a tool for the second. So the second day we sent the log for the second part, and the third day we went to the top part. So we didn't have the tune for the top. So always behind it. That's I think have a tuner right on the spot. That's going to the game changer for us because we don't need cellular signal. He's right there. He can look at the data and we can adjust the lambda sonda and we can make things better, more fuel, less fuel, whatever the car required. I think that's going to be one of the biggest game change for us. And spare parts. We manufacture a lot of spare parts. I hope we don't need it. But last year, basically we had spark plugs and ignition coils. That's all we had. It's like no spare parts. Last year we had screws, 6mm bolts. Like that's all we had. This year we bring the welder. This year we have a air compressor and many spare parts. But I hopefully we doesn't need to use it.
Yeah, well, feels like an arsenal, I'm sure, compared to last year. So
Sure.
yeah. What's the energy like for you and the team, weeks away here from when we're recording this? Is it the same as last year? Is it even more? I mean, I'm sure getting the first one actually done was such an accomplishment, a sense of accomplishment in itself, but how does it feel this year?
The good news is the car is here. Last year the car wasn't here that time or just came a week before. Mm-hmm. So that's a big relief. I don't have to worry about at US Custom what's going to be happening with the car. They release it, they not release it, it's coming or not coming. The total is breakdown, what's bringing in or not breakdown, So that's a big relief to having the car over here. That's like awesome. Otherwise, we're still working on the car. We're servicing the car as we speak. We're putting the new water pump on it because I heard a little ticking on the water pump. So I said, you know what, I put in the new water pump. After we saw the little slippage, very small slippage on the seal, I said, okay, let's replace the gasket. And I think in 2 more days, we are good to go. And hopefully this weekend, we can have a good testing and a good race in Okimo. It's like, hopefully we're not going to over-test the car because that's going to be the third test. Because whenever you do some big races, many teams, they have a mistake when they over-testing the car. So you cannot drive the way how you're going to drive on Pikes Peak. So we have to put control on it because we're going to leave something for Pikes Peak too. And we're not going to have time to work on it. Like after when we come back, 2 more days, the car got to go to Pikes Peak. We do some quick service, changing fluids, oil changes, diff change, gearbox changes, and the car gotta go. So we have no any room for body damage or suspension problem or engine damage, engine problem. We're not going to make it.
No pressure.
It's many times people asking me the question, what do you wait about Pikes Peak? I always wait to get over it successfully. because after I can have my life back. I sleep on it, I thinking about it. Like a couple of days ago, I'm in the bed and I said, shit, we didn't order the cable to release the emergency fire extinguisher. So when they on the hood has a cable, when you're pulling it out, they have to turn off the switch. And the reason why this became the problem, because we modified a little bit the location of the switch. So in nighttime, I just wake up, oh Jesus, we forgot. We just order this one. Hopefully tomorrow we can get it and we can put it on tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah, truly one of those things where you're just excited for it to arrive as you are for it to be completed.
Sure, absolutely. It's like every single parts we have a documentation, we have a list, and we're waiting for FedEx, DHL, USPS to just come, bring those parts in it, because the time, closer to get, less time we get, more pressure we got.
So if I may, with Frank, you're seeing a little bit of his calculus, hearing a noise and tinkering and, the metrics, measuring things. Getting to Pikes Peak and starting that being our first motorsport event. Who would think we would want to do something to be our first event, motorsport, as rookies? But with his grit and determination, he chose, in his good judgment, Pikes Peak. So we'll thank him for that. Throughout the race, he was very calculated. He was very observant. He was taking his mental notes, making sure, wanted that car to succeed, and was unwavering. Nothing was going to take him off that ultimate goal of finishing. And we finished the race. And for that moment, when we finished the race and the car made it back down the hill, I saw a joy from Frank that I never saw before. So kudos for letting himself have that moment. I was happy for Frank at that moment.
Thank you. Like last year, 13 teams didn't finish the race for many different reasons. Mechanical failure, accident, and for us to finish on the first time, that would give us accomplishment. This time, maybe we're not going to finish. Maybe we're going to have some problems. We don't know. But we have to prepare for everything. We have to ready for everything. We gotta bring all the weapons what we get. And I'm super optimistic with my team. Whenever I'm working with my guys, I feel the support and I feel the power. Whatever is happening, just give it to us. Let me work with us and we will figure it out. So having the good team, that's priceless for us.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's like this, with any form of motorsport, but especially Pikes Peak, where it's like you said, you're doing all this prep work, getting all these parts throughout the year, prepping, testing. It's like everyone's just got that unstoppable force of energy behind them because they're just like, we got to get this car up. We got to get this car out there and get it to run, right? It's like, that's your one shot. Everyone's working towards that. It's all, they've touched it and built it with their hands. It's all so tangible for them. So everyone's got super high levels of motivation, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I'm pretty sure all the teams are like Dumas, he's driving the $1 trillion cars, even, he had last year, it's like with all the money and all the support, when last year what happened, he took off, he had the warning light on and he stopped. He had to restart the car, and he still became first on the race. With all the $1 trillion budget, the car had the mechanical problem. With all the electronics, like you can measure the best of the best. Like I'm talking the highest level, what you can get. The highest level, what you can get for support, money, cars. Like this year, he's going to drive the Ford, I believe, Mustang or something like that, some special electric cars. So hopefully he's not going to have a problem. But the Pikes Peak, it's Pikes Peak. It's nothing you can do about it. You just have to go with the flow.
And I wanted to take a moment. Big shout out to the New England Hill Climb Association and the world of hill climbing. You could bring a car without any tools, and somebody on the mountain, if you run into a problem, they'll help you out. And I can't think like that community. I don't know if it's like that in other motorsports, just because I've only experienced hill climbing. But like there's just so many great people that you're competing, you're doing time trials, you're competing, but you're competing against the mountain. And I think everybody is like everybody's on board with competing against the mountain. It's everybody competing against the mountain. And you really see that camaraderie come through if you get into problems. Like, everyone's there to support. So big shout out to the New England Hill Climb Association.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like the way you put that. It's like, everyone's competing, obviously, but it's you versus the environment, right? I've heard similar things to what you just said about King of Hammers, which, of course, is an entirely different discipline, but, similar kind of thing where you're all out there to just tackle the incredibly rough terrain and see where you can get and how you can get there. And your fellow competitors might throw you some spare parts and tow you out of a mud path or whatever it is. But that's got to be a pretty rewarding part of the whole experience too.
In Mother Nature, as you know, she shows no mercy quite often.
Yeah, it's Pikes Peak. It's basically, for me, it's so many steps of course management, and almost like the course management, it's never end. Those week, it's that week, it's almost feel like that's not 7 days. That's like on the beginning, it's like 30 or 40 days. When we on the end, it just go by so quick.
Yeah. So I'm curious, where, like, with Rayteam Motorsport, are there other disciplines in your wish list down the road? Like, what other forms of motorsport do you want to get your brand involved with beyond hill climb?
We're looking for more of the ice racing, and I hope somebody hearing this who can help us. We're looking for some hill, winter time, and with special tires. We have a plan to go up some ski hill. In Germany and Austria, they have a winter course when they let the cars, like, of course, special tires and the right equipment to go uphill on the mountain, winter time. They have a famous Audi commercial when the Audi go up on the ski thing. So we love to have something similar to the United States, to find some place, some hill like Okemo, Scotney, Mount Washington, or even Colorado, when we can involve something like that. And also ice race, that's going to be the next step for us. We try it out, we love that. We have great support for the next car what's coming, that's going to be super qualified for that. Also our Audi Group A, it's super qualified. The sound of it, on the ice, and the power, just like the power, like weight ratio is just perfect. Beside hill climbing, I think we're going to get involved more with ice racing.
Another super easy, not at all challenging motorsport option for you. You're really picking the hard ones.
Mention ice racing, and that commercial too, with the Audi going up the ski slope. I was over in Europe doing ice driving experience earlier this year with Audi Club. It's one of the benefits that we offer to members is trips over to Europe to do driving experiences, and ice education is one of them. And I remember talking to the instructor, and he was like, it wasn't just the commercial. 1984, 85, that's when we started the driving experience, and it began with taking these early quattros and showing them side by side with like a Subaru to show just how much better the all-wheel drive system was to be able to scale an icy slope. So that was like the birth of their program was effectively that commercial, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, we love to find some hill. We're getting like special ice tires, and we love to find some hill when we can rent or something. They let us use the cars, after hours or nighttime. We love to get into it.
So just curious, moving into the broader business for Ulisses or for anyone on the team, what are some of the dream builds you're looking forward to with Rayteam, whether it be on the motorsport side or just client cars and projects you have in the pipeline?
Well, also we have a BMW hill climb car. That's one of our technicians, Georgie, he created. He came with us to Scotney Saturday and Sunday to help the team. And Monday he bought the BMW hill climbing car. So we do supporting Georgie too on the Rayteam Motorsport with his BMW. All winter he worked on it. He put turbocharger on it. Was 300 horsepower before, right now became like 450 horsepower. So we're getting more hill climbing. I think hill climbing, it's a good match for us. Actually, a couple of our customers, they interested to bring their Porsches. Also, hopefully we go to Pennsylvania. They have a big hill climbing event, and we go to many car shows. We was with Big Molly in New Orleans. We was Pennsylvania with the Low Show. Of course, Boston. We love Boston so much. It's like the Audi community is just wonderful. The guys, whoever involved with New England Audi Club or North American Audi Club, German Car Day, that's huge for us. The Boston, what's the show? What has summertime? The
Boston
Copley.
Cup.
Boston Cup, it's a big show, and we're just excited to go to the shows too. Just show the car, just let people
It's for the
enjoy
kids.
it.
For the kids.
Yeah, yeah, for the kids, we just love it. We love to put them in. We love to making some noises. We love to have them see it for the public. We welcome everybody, even from the street, just to see them.
Right. It's awesome. Where can people follow your builds? Like, what do you want to plug that you want people to check out for Rayteam?
So you can follow us on our Facebook page, Rayteam Automotive. You can follow us on Instagram, Rayteam Auto. You can follow us on our YouTube channel, Rayteam Automotive. What's the other one that they wanted to ban? What's that platform they wanted to ban? TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. You guys are on
We're on
TikTok.
TikTok as well, but we got something for everybody. The community, like our community, I can just tell you over the years, especially after Pikes Peak, has just grown. People come to us asking for advice on hill climbing. Do we still have the rookie title?
Yeah, we do.
We still have the rookie title. You asked Frank, I'll go back a couple of questions ago. You asked him about, leading up into this event. Yeah, there's less to worry about per se. We're a little more lax because we know what the day in, day out, we know what the element can throw. Granted, we had one day of very bad weather on the upper section, and we almost didn't qualify to be able to compete, to have your time for that final race on Sunday. But so we know everything that the mountain can throw at you. We know that we're going to run into problems. So we have some experience. So I think everybody this year knows going into it what we can expect. Now, things could go awry. We could have different problems. But Frank's, we've ensembled a good cast of characters that, like I said, have a good expertise in this, that, and the other thing. So we're prepared as you can be. The most important thing now, just because we've done some work to the car, is the testing. But with testing, if we get to problems with the car, particularly if there's damage, then there's no Pikes Peak. So we have to kind of pump the brakes a little bit on pushing the car. So it's that fine balance of getting the car prepped for Pikes Peak, but also making sure that our precious cargo is in safekeeping to make it to the event. Because I really want to see those two quattros together. As you know, there's going to be a number of Audis competing. I hope we get together and take a nice picture, because this is history in the making. And I know that sounds cliche, but Pikes Peak is a very special place in the motorsport world, and I'm just so happy that Rayteam is going to be part of it. We worked very hard to get to this point, and I say that humbly, of course. We worked very hard, and this is the fruits of your labor. This is what you work for. These are the moments you want to capture, and I'm very proud of our team. And when you're talking about future, if you asked me 20 years ago, would we be on the side of Pikes Peak, getting to the top, I wouldn't think of it. Wouldn't even have crossed my mind. But I will say this. Since I've been with Frank for 20 plus years, every year we've gotten better. Every year we have ascended. So I will say that where we are today will be even better. Where we are tomorrow will be even better than where we are today. And for that, you can't help but, be happy to wake up every morning and put your best foot forward. So this is it's a lot of fun, and I want to encourage everybody out there to pursue their dreams. Life is too short, and you want to make the most out of it. That's the only way to. I think when we all find our resting place, to have a smile on our face.
Yeah, that's like I always say. There's nothing more rewarding than continuous improvement. Just chipping away at the stuff that means something to you, and like you said, just year after year improving with the business, and now the motorsport team. Second year at Pikes Peak. So it's an awesome story.
I just wanted to add that we're just really excited. Audi Club North America is going to be at Pikes Peak this year. I'm going to be there with two other members of our media team, capturing the event and documenting the 9 Audis, hopefully all of them. I get to climb on Sunday. But, with it being the 103rd running and this marking 40 years since Michelle Mouton won Queen of the Mountain with her time.
Yes.
Audi, she's going to be out there being inducted into the Hall of Fame for 40 years in honor of that milestone. So it's a huge year for Audi, and I'm just so excited to be able to highlight this with you all, tell your story, Frank. Hopefully we get some time with our team there to kind of capture the energy that's going on with you during practice or even race day, and try to bring this all together for for posterity, right? And for our members and our viewership.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's one other special thing about Pikes Peak. Saturday, it has a car show at Colorado Spring Audi dealer, and just please come, please. Super important. It's we're going to be there with two Audi S1 E2. We're going to have with the Audi Sport Quattro, British Racing Green Quattro. If everything go well, David Rove with the Audi Group S going to be there, and we're going to have Christian with the Audi TT RS over there. So that's a specific Audi shows with no Subarus, no Subarus. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. That's going to awesome. It's like the thing is with without our sponsors, like if I may, can I mention them?
Yeah, of course.
It's like Ricumoli, Waltham Savings Bank, Prague Racing, and Cotton Socks Sport, EFI Express, Unitronic, Pizzeria Enzino, Northside Import, American Auto Transporters, Pars Auto Body, Duzo Sushi, Milk Exotic Snacks, KSBT Engineering, and Air Power Racing. They all chip into the team a little bit to make us happen. So they all try to help us a little bit. Nobody couldn't do a lot, but everybody get into it. And because it's them, we able to make this happen. Like the transportation, it's like everybody know these days, everything nothing gonna be inexpensive. Everything is gonna be expensive. We're not going to have $10 bill. We always have like $1,000 bills with my luck. Just everything is gonna be like super expensive with this motorsport, even for us on our level.
This doesn't run on 89.
Yeah. Very cool, guys. Well, congrats on everything you've accomplished so far. And, we wish you, of course, the best of luck with upcoming practice and the 2025 event. That, of course, as Chris mentioned, he'll be there, and we'll make sure he gets some kick-ass photos of everything going on out there across the whole Audi lineup. And we look forward to seeing all that and hearing how you guys do out there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we're looking forward to see you guys over there, okay? We're going to see you over there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll just add for our listeners and viewers, check out the Q2 issue of Quattro Magazine for the article on Rayteam Motorsport's event last year. The S1 Speakeasy is the article, so check that out for our club members. They can get that in the magazine or digitally on the Audi Club North America website. Chris, anything else you want to add?
No, just thank you both. Really appreciate it. And we can't wait to see what happens out there in the mountain. And either way, we'll be there right there with you and there to tell the story. So thanks again, both of you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And see you then.
Yeah, Frank, Ulisses,
Take care.
thank you so much.
Care.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of All Wheel Driven. Please consider giving our show a rating, subscribe for future episodes, and email us your feedback at media@audiclubna.org. Be sure to check the show description for a link to submit your questions or express interest in joining future episodes of All Wheel Driven to share your Audi story with our community. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.